Welcome to the Hetero Homies podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tame.
I am Grimo.
I'm Grames.
I'm Fletch.
And we have our first ever guest today. His name is Sephirothsword57.
While you've been capturing monsters, I've been capturing demons.
Seth, would you care to introduce yourself in any way?
Konnichiwa, I am Sephirothsword57, also known as Seph-sama, or Sephirothsword Gojunana.
And why did you pick that name? What made you choose that?
Well, the name Sephirothsword57 comes from, well, way back in the day. If you remember the early 2000s, the forum days, you had to pick a name, and I couldn't really come up with a name. I liked Sephiroth, and Sephiroth has a sword. It's called the Masamune. It's a katana. And I wanted to have Sephiroth Katana 57, but there wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough letters. There was a limit, so I went with Sephiroth Sword, and then because there was other names similar to it, I went with Sephiroth Sword 57.
So I've heard a lot about your sword training, or that you train swords. I've seen on Twitter. You have videos of you cutting the screen in half and doing amazing feats with your sword, and I believe you called it Boken, right? It's a training sword.
Yes.
Perfect. So could you tell me what your training regimen looks like?
Well, I have I usually practice multiple times a week with my Boken. I also have katanas.
Have you ever had to use any of them? 1 second, my audio is a little messy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so
Sounds good.
No, you just cut it right there.
It might get better. I don't know.
we could be hopeful. But yeah, let's hear about your sword training regimen. Let's hear what you got going on.
Yes, so I practice with my Boken multiple times a week. I don't really use my katanas because, I don't really need to use them, and also I could end up damaging someone, and that would just be unnecessary, just legal stuff.
Yeah,
so I just use my Boken, and that's what I also practice. I always keep it by the side of my door in case there's burglars and nasty people.
Have you ever had to cut a burglar in half or two? You know, anyone ever try to break in?
No. Usually you can't really cut someone in half with a Boken. You mostly just beat people up with it.
Right.
But I've had a run-in a few years ago. It was in the middle of the night where a couple of no good criminals were trying to mug me.
Wait, really?
Damn. It was about... it was actually like 10 years ago now that I think
shit.
about it.
So this is younger Seth.
Time flies so fast. Yes, time flies so fast. So I was in my mid 20s, and I usually kept my Boken with me when I went out, because just in case something happened, and I showed them.
What was your game plan? What did you go in and do? What was your sort of battle strat, if you will?
Well, I used my kata that I always practice every time I use my Boken.
Okay. What's a kata?
It is a type of sword training that is think of it as a combo in a fighting game. It's like that, but in real life.
Oh, I see. So do you guys have like special moves and special abilities? Do you have any of those?
Well, I have a couple of moves that I've come up with that are not, but they don't implement Boken or katana training. It's mostly for for empty-handed combat.
Oh, really? So that's what I was wondering, is if you also train like hand-to-hand combat stuff.
Yes, I've been a martial artist for 20 years now.
Really?
Yes, I've been practicing karate, judo, and kempo, all kinds of course, jiu-jitsu is also one, but that's just a compilation of some of the best martial arts around.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A little bit of Chinese kempo, although that's mostly just fake martial arts and not really viable in real fights. They're mostly for showing cool moves, and they don't really do a lot of damage. And well, you're usually in a disadvantage when you use it. So,
okay, all right.
Japanese martial arts is the way to go.
I see. Well, that's the thing, actually, because I've been training MMA since I was really young. I did boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling ever since I was 10, and I'm 19 now. So I've been doing a lot of that stuff as well. And I was wondering, what do you think is the best martial art, according to you?
Well, I say it's I do know that MMA implements some stuff also from judo and karate, and just like I would say it's for me personally, I've had the most usage from karate, especially since karate used to be not only empty-handed combat but also weapon-based combat. So I have usage with it with my swords as well.
I see.
Yes. So karate was actually for people who lost their weapon in fights and stuff to defend themselves. So because back in the day, pretty much everyone was carrying a katana. So when they didn't have a weapon, they couldn't really do anything. So that's why they were trained in karate to be able to defend themselves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, actually. That's pretty crazy. Does anyone else have any questions for Seth? Because I've been talking way too much.
So Seth. Seth? What inspires you to make the content that you make today? Like, what forms of media or anything that really inspires you to keep making content and keep going throughout your YouTube career?
Well, I would say the number one thing right now is my loyal swordlings supporting me
I see.
on my channel.
So that's like what you call like your audience, like swordlings?
Yes, those are my viewers, yes.
Yeah.
My fans.
That's a neat name.
It was a cool name. I was actually wondering about your swordlings. Do you teach them any secret techniques as well?
Well, I have... Comment. I have plans to release training videos of my own martial art, now that we've talked about it, which is Jingen Cross Ryubudo Taijutsu.
All right, okay.
Martial art
Yeah,
that I've been developing for a couple of years now.
You doing okay, Seth?
Yes, I just have a cough. It's not too bad, but it's
Yeah.
Okay.
but yes, and I'm going to show that to my audience once I have it ready, because there's still a few things I need to adjust and just to make it, because I don't wanna show off an unfinished martial art.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
You can't have your swordlings. Yeah, you can't have your swordlings going out there looking like chumps. You know, you got to have the strongest fan base there is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
What we strive for.
Exactly. So that's why with our viewers, we actually every time I see one of our viewers, I challenge them to a duel and I beat them up, and they get stronger every single time. I usually squish them. So yeah.
Well, that could be a good way to show that they need to it could be a good motivator.
Oh yeah,
for them to get strong.
Precisely, bro.
I think you should.
You're right.
I think you should do it
run up
too.
to our viewers with an axe and just chase them with an axe. And if they don't do anything about it, then they're not a viewer.
That is usually our game plan. Like, it's never just me. We always travel in a group of 4, like geese. You know, we go in a V formation, and every time we see a viewer, we all 4 converge on their position and start beating the shit out of them. They love it. They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grimo got some from the sky. Creeps got him from below. Me and Tame got him from below.
we go, go front to back.
Reach total velocity and then dive bomb on top of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Crane.
It's really good. There's this one video, actually, there's this poor family. It's a whole family of our viewers who are really enjoying our content. They're actually watching it on their phone. And I just take the wife by her ankles and I slam her right into her son, right off the cliff. It's super cool. We should show it to you sometime.
Yeah, I remember as they were flying away, they had screamed, "We love your videos." It was really weird. Also kind of funny.
Yeah, it was really charming. I love our fans. They're so supportive. But yeah, Seth, I'm sure you have similar stories.
Well, I haven't gotten into encounter with any of my fans.
Really?
That's a bummer, actually.
Yeah, that's actually surprising. What do you?
I live in a small city, so we don't. There aren't really that many. Since the majority of my fans are situated in, well, the U.S. and areas like that.
That would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I have not been able to see anyone. I've gotten messages from fans that live, well, closer to me, but I've never met anyone on the street or anything.
Really?
I'll fly them all in on a VTOL all
Yeah.
the way to wherever you live. Them on you.
Yeah, we'll actually pick them up and we'll drop them off whenever we come to visit because we want to eventually come by. What happened to our little?
That sounds good.
Yeah, I agree. What happened?
Yeah, what happened to our little doodle? Well, we'll give it a minute. It's loading. Oh, okay, we're back to it. We're back to it. Perfect. So yeah. How is it living in Sweden with your interest? Because here it's sort of like seen as a nerdier activity, which I never liked because I was always super into anime and manga myself. So like whenever people do it here, you usually get bullied or like made fun of for it. But in Sweden, is it more accepted?
Well, I've never gotten bullied or anything like that. Well, I've never gotten bullied. Period. But I've for my interest, everyone has been mostly interested and curious.
That's awesome.
I've not been able to convert everyone into well, getting into my interest, but they're always interested. And the group of friends I had when I went to school, they were all interested in hearing about me talking about Japanese culture and such. So, no, I've had a pretty good time.
That's great to hear, actually. Here it's pretty stigmatized. And matter of fact, certain things have been making it blow up a little more. Like, one of my favorite manga recently, not recently, but by Tatsuki Fujimoto, the guy behind Chainsaw Man, it's making it a little bit more popular now. People are starting to watch anime on a wider scale. And this has been happening slowly in America, but this is the first time I've seen it, like, just completely take over Twitter to the point where it's just insane.
Edge Runners too.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, that did that too.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one because everyone was like Cyberpunk bad, oh my gosh, and then the show came out. And everyone was like, oh my god, Cyberpunk! I've always loved Cyberpunk. Shut up.
As a member of the Cyberpunk Bad Club, that was a sad day when that came out. And it was actually good. I was very upset about that. I was like, I could shit on Carlos forever, and then that happened. I was like, all right, well, Cyberpunk's not too bad, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know. So Seth, what do you think of Chainsaw Man actually?
I read a bit of the manga when it was first serialized, and I thought it was really good. I was at the point where I just wanted to check it out and see what it was about, and I was very surprised, and I was very interested in reading more of it, but I never got to it. I never really had the time to sit down and read new mangas. I mostly I have a lot of work and I do other stuff like for my channel that I'm working on. So I haven't really had time to sit down and enjoy manga or anime in a while. I do play a lot of JRPGs though. So.
Really? I remember that you were working on a game at one point. You were going to make your own video game.
Yes, that didn't go through, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was looking at the Kickstarter for that, and I was looking at it, and I was like, I really want to play this game. This game looks interesting. This game looks like it might be fun.
Is there any demos out
Yes,
that Carlos could try? Because I actually was there that night, and Carlos was really adamantly trying to find if he could play that game.
Well, for that, the one on the Kickstarter, unfortunately, we didn't get very far into the development of that. So there unfortunately isn't a playable version of it.
Damn.
Unfortunately, although I will say I am working on something behind the scenes, but I'm not going to spoil too much.
I see. Can we have a hint or two maybe as to what it could be?
Well, if you've seen on my YouTube channel, I have a video, a long video of a playthrough of the first game I ever made.
I did watch that.
It's called the Last Dream Central, and it is related to that.
And actually, all of us are pretty big fans of your work, so much so that I actually made you an intro for whenever you're on the podcast, we can introduce you with it. So I'll send that to you now, and I'll get your opinion live if that's okay with you.
That sounds good. Whoa. Oh, this is cool.
You like it?
Yes.
Perfect.
Man, you really moving on that chair, huh?
I'm trying to get Justin Cruz get off my ass.
Really moving on that.
Some of us trying to get water right now.
Oh.
I didn't expect that.
That was great.
Really?
I really enjoyed that. That was great.
I spent a lot of time trying to put it together. Yeah.
Thank you. I thought of it.
I'm gonna kill that Ripley guy. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill that Ripley guy. I spent like 4 hours trying to put that all together because I like editing a lot, but I wanted to match your style. I have a very different editing style, so I wanted to match the videos that you make, and try to put that together for you.
I see. Yes, that was enjoyable. That was fun. I like that.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
But I have a question.
Okay, Ripley, let's hear it.
Okay. So, from watching you have a very big disdain for Nintendo. I wonder where that came from. Could you explain to us why you do not like Nintendo?
Well, first, I would say I wasn't too much against Nintendo. I've always disliked Nintendo. It wasn't until I started my YouTube career where Nintendo started to, they started to mess with me in my production. And not only that, that's when everything bad happened. They started stealing games for their awful consoles, their underpowered consoles. They could be released for better systems that could handle them better. But
dude, on God, I hate the Switch. We hate the Switch, bro. The Switch is dog shit.
Yes, it's a terrible system, and it's awful. They steal games and characters for their baby games, and no, I don't like it. But the reason why it started is, of course, when I grew up, I was a big fan of Sega, and was always the Nintendo fanboys were some of the most annoying nerds you could ever encounter.
100%.
They all played Mario and Zelda, and every time I looked at those games, I just didn't understand that when there's a console like the Sega Mega Drive that has so many good RPGs and platform games and that they would just choose Nintendo and just refuse to play Sega games. That's when it started, because the fans were so annoying.
Do you like Super Mario 64 or any of the Mario games?
No.
Yeah, I know the problems, right?
Just straight up.
Oh my god.
He's spitting,
Right.
bro.
I couldn't imagine being named
I-
Creams
I-
and playing them on stream all the time, right?
Oh my god, this is personal. All right, go on.
Seth, let me explain myself.
Okay.
See, I used to like Nintendo a while ago, right? I used to really like their old Super Mario and Zelda games. And then when they kept making more games, I was realizing I was just like, why do all these consoles exist? Or like, why do all these consoles exist and I can't play any of the good games they have on it on any of the other consoles, you know? It's like I would love to play a Mario game on like, I don't know, my computer or on my Xbox, but I can't do that. So as time went on, I started realizing that their games are just not that good. And when the Switch released, it was like you could only play Switch games. Like no other game works on the Switch. And like I would try to play something like Smash, but there's just better games out there, you know. And I've changed, but I used to like Super Mario a lot.
It shows that you've grown.
Yeah.
Now he's mature.
Mature realize that
Nintendo's brainwashing is wearing off. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Actually, it's a really good.
Probably
One.
wears off, you know,
Just
like
MK'd Ultra Creams.
Dreams was abducted by Nintendo and force-fed Mario games.
Such a
Fuck you,
show.
Sakurai.
I agree. Fuck you, Sakurai. Yeah, on God.
All right, let's all threaten this family. Let's threaten this family. All right, on three.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I think it just comes to age, you know, it's just maturing, you know.
That is my question for you.
Yes.
Is there any Nintendo game that you have enjoyed playing?
that's a hard question. There were definitely Nintendo games that had potential to be good, but they were limited by the system and especially Nintendo themselves, who just limit anyone working on games for their systems. For example, the game Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance, I believe. That is a game that could be great. It's a classic JRPG, and it was made by Camelot, who made games for. They made the Shining Force games for the Sega Mega Drive. All the Shining games, actually, which are all great, are RPGs. And then they made a few games for the PlayStation, and then they got bought by Nintendo. And now they're forced to make sports games, Mario sports games.
Really? Oh fuck, that must suck.
So they're making that Mario Golf and Mario Tennis and those games. That's the only thing they're forced to do now. And they used to make great JRPGs, and now that's all they let them do.
That's a
Would
shame.
you say that JRPGs is like your favorite genre of games?
Absolutely, yes. After I discovered Final Fantasy VII back in 1997, that's when I discovered that video games can be absolutely amazing.
Was there ever a point where you were not really a big fan of video games?
Well, I got to a point when I was a teenager. This was right before I discovered my true self. I didn't really watch. So I've talked about this in one of my videos. It's called I forgot what the video is called, but the story of Seph-sama, I believe it's called. And I go over my childhood and my how I discovered Japanese culture. And this was the early 2000s. And during that time, I didn't play a lot of video games, and I was kind of I was lost. I was a teenager, so I didn't really know who I was or what I wanted in life. And that's when I discovered manga and more Japanese games, because I always liked Japanese games. I just didn't know that they were Japanese.
What do you think pushed you from like going from just normal games to, in particular, Japanese games? What do you think made you want to do that?
Well, like I said, I always played the first game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Mega Drive. and that is a Japanese game. And I've always been drawn to Japanese games, even though I didn't know they were Japanese. So it was pretty much Final Fantasy VII that introduced me to just RPGs, and after that I only really played JRPGs, like Final Fantasy VII, Grandia, and Persona, and those games.
Have you sort of branched out into different genres yet? Do you still just stick with JRPGs, or are there other genres you also enjoy a lot?
I also really like character action games, like Devil May Cry.
Love those.
I also like fighting games.
Love those.
To an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And well, there are a lot of action games. I like Japanese action games.
I have a quick question.
Well, puzzle games and stuff like that. I like a lot of different genres more than but JRPGs are my favorite. Yes.
I see. Creams, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. What is your favorite fighting game?
That's a big thing for him. This might start a fight.
Yeah, Seth, you're gonna have to think about this. If you say anything other than the answer he wants to hear, he will cry. I have seen this. It's sad.
I won't cry.
He will cry. He will cry.
Burst out in tears.
Well, the one I have played the most, and the one that I wouldn't say had the most fun with, but I had the most community surrounding it when I was playing it, was Third Strike, Street Fighter 3's Third Strike.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah.
All right. Creams isn't crying. That's good.
And I've also, so I played that the most, and I also played Garo Mark of the Wolves. It's also a really good fighting game. Most of the fighting games that I played are usually the ones from the late 90s. Mostly. I don't play a lot of new fighting games, but I did. The one recently that I got into that I played for a bit was King of Fighters 15. But other than that, I don't really play a lot of new fighting games.
Yeah. Sort of on the fighting topic, since you have your sword mastery and your physical mastery, right? We were thinking about this, right? We were scared to bring you on because we were like, this guy's powerful. He might take over the podcast with his immense strength and fortitude. So we've been thinking about this, right? How could we fend you off? So we have an idea for you, right? It's going to be you versus the four of us. Each of us gets to pick one weapon, right? And then we're going to duel. The battlefield will be a Walmart in South Florida, all right? During business hours.
Is that one of those? Is those one of those big stores?
Yeah. It's like just a giant grocery store. They got like appliances, like TVs, clothes, food. They got it all. Everything's there.
You can like grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah.
A great fighter knows their own weakness. So
yeah.
If you tell us your weakness, then
Right. And I've been reading. I actually, for this interview, I read Sun Tzu's Art of War. So I've been learning how to use the environment of a Walmart to our advantage.
I was there for that.
He was there for that. I read it to him. Yeah, I read it to him when he went to sleep.
I had many questions, none of them pertinent to the actual book.
I didn't answer a single one. I did not answer even one of those questions. Every time he said anything, I spit in his mouth. But but I know the knowledge now. So what weapon would you pick? I mean, I think I know, but just to get it out there, you know?
Well, since I am very proficient with the katana or bokken, I would say the most effective weapon against the katana would be the kusarigama.
Oh.
Which I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't.
What is it? It is a weapon. It is originally a Okinawan weapon, and what it is that it is a chain, and on one end of the chain there is a weight, and on the other one there's a sickle.
I have seen those before, actually. I didn't know that's what they were called, but I've seen one of those.
I thought they were called like a kama.
Yeah, I thought it was a kama, but I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm sure Seth knows and we don't.
Yes, it is a kusarigama. And what you do with it is that you have the weight, the weight is for blunt attacks, and then you have the sickle for when you get close. But it is a mid-range sort of weapon, because you can also use this chain to defend yourself and wrap it around your enemy's weapon. And for example, the katana, if you can wrap your chain around it, your opponent will not be able to use it. So that's where you use the weight for most, is you swing the weight and then you throw it. And that's how that works. It's a complicated weapon to learn how to use, but if you know how to use it well, it will be very effective towards sword wielding.
That's the thing, though. We don't have that training, so we're gonna have to pick something else, because we can't. I wouldn't know how to use that. I'd probably cut off my head trying to swing it around.
Yeah. So since we are in a Walmart, I think what I would do is I'd arm myself with like a big bag of like kettle chips, because those chips are like hard to open. So maybe it'll like, you know, be some type of defensive shield, and then I would arm myself as well with a kid's tricycle.
Okay. So you're gonna dual wield, which is not in the rules, but I'll allow it, because neither of those are weapons. So yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
But we're in a Walmart. We gotta do whatever we got.
I mean, you're right. Okay, then if we're going off of we get the Walmart supplies and Seth gets his katana, then I would go with a catapult. I've seen the trebuchet section in Walmart. I want to get a catapult from there.
No, they don't got that.
They definitely have that. That's a real thing.
No,
That's a real thing. That's a real. My Walmart has that.
Your Walmart is in like Oakland, bro. You like go across the country just to go to Walmart.
My Walmart has that. All right, so I'm gonna grab a catapult from the catapult section, put it in my shopping cart. Right. Yeah, see, Ripley's been to our Walmart. He's right. See? Now what?
We'll go to the Egyptian section and grab a kofish, and then run at him with a kofish.
Okay. Well, our store does not have a. Yeah, our store doesn't have an Egyptian section, so that's where Ripley's wrong. But they do have a trebuchet section, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we have ancient medieval Europe, not ancient medieval
Egypt. Yeah, that's too far out, Ripley. So yeah, I'll grab myself a catapult, which I could put maybe Creams into. If he picks a good weapon for like spearing, you know, like I could launch him like a missile at you, or even children, because this is during business hours. So I'll just pick up random customers, throw them in there, just launch them. It's my game plan. That's my game plan.
Okay.
Carlos?
Because every single Walmart has one. I'm going into the gun section and I'm hunkering down, dude. I'm making an entire base down there, dude.
The worst part is they do actually have that, which is really weird if you're not American, I'm guessing.
Where is your Walmart? Where is it?
I'm not gonna give you my address. Like, I'm not gonna do that on air.
No, this Walmart does not exist. They have a gun section and a trebuchet.
No,
okay, every Walmart has a gun section.
Yeah, every Walmart has a gun section, dude.
And the kofish.
Bro, you've never been to Walmart before. You're from America. You should know this.
Okay, see, Seth.
Creams' Walmart's just like empty. It's a skeleton of a.
Yeah, we've seen his mall before.
In the center.
Yeah, we've seen his mall before. There's nothing there. Creams just lives in the back rooms. He's just mad about it. He's mad that he doesn't have the amenities that the South has.
Okay, see, I'm reasonable, right? I'm going to go to the kitchen appliances section, right?
Okay.
Grab a lot of knives.
That's going to be a real challenge, then.
Yeah. A lot of knives, right?
Yeah, actually, Walmarts don't really have a kitchen appliance section. That's not like a thing they have.
Let me have this, alright?
Okay.
What do you mean? Walmart's totally have kitchen sections. What are you talking about?
Oh, shut up. Fuck you. You wouldn't let me have my trebuchet. I'm not going to let him have knives.
Okay, so I put a lot of knives in my car.
So they have... So do they have guns and trebuchets, but they don't have kitchenware?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
It's a weird store.
Yeah, if you go to Evans Walmart, then yes.
Yes. Okay, so Walmart's vary too. Some will have like a gun store, and like others will have like no guns, and it'll just be groceries. Like Walmart's vary because of the states. In different states, like gun control's a little bit more lax or less relaxed, so it's pretty wild. Although all of them should have a trebuchet section, because I don't really think there's any rules against those.
Yeah. Sure.
Which is why I picked Florida, because I knew they have guns and definitely a trebuchet section, because they're like down south.
Yeah. Go to the wildlife section and grab an animal.
Oh, actually, that's a really good idea. We could. Oh, someone's got to pick a snake. No, he can cut a snake in half.
No, that's not even a thing. What are you talking about?
No. Some Walmarts do have pet sections. They have like dogs and stuff.
They have pets. They have pets. No, they don't have dogs. They have like fish.
Bro.
What?
All right, let's settle
on
down.
display.
Okay.
Let's settle down.
Okay.
See, here's the plan. We're gonna propose our what we're gonna bring to the fight, right?
Yeah.
And Seth will respond with a counter.
Yeah, that's the
go
point.
first. I'll go first, right? So I'll bring my cart. I'll load it with knives, right? I'm gonna get a lot of duct tape, right? A lot of duct tape, and I'm gonna duct tape a lot of knives around my cart, right?
Okay.
And it's just gonna be knives protruding from my cart, right? And I will run at you with the cart. So how will you counter me?
Yeah. What's your counter, Seth?
Well, at that point you will be very slow, and I'm very
Speedy
agile.
guy.
I've trained a lot of ninjutsu, so I will be able to. Since I'm assuming this is a store with a lot of shelves and such, it would be very easy to just climb up there and just jump over you.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, that's true.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good idea. All right, Carlos, what are you picking, and how are you gonna try to go up against Seth?
Okay, so upon seeing this man get beheaded or bisected or whatever way you intend on killing Creams, I'm gonna go to the gun section and be like, "Yo, dude, there's a crazy guy over there. We need guns. You need to arm us." And the guy, being a God-blessed American, is going to give me and all of his coworkers guns, and we're all gonna be posted up in the gun section, and we're just gonna have a wall of bullets.
It's true. On 4th of July, I do remember they were giving out guns for free. On 4th of July, I do remember this.
To hide.
That's a coward's game. That's a coward's game, Carlos.
It's gonna be me and three other dudes posted behind the gun section. How do you fight that?
Yeah, what's your idea on that stuff?
Well, I am since I'm equipped with a katana, which I'm assuming that's what I'm using.
Yeah. You can
Not
pick
my
something if you
weapon.
want.
Yes.
Yeah, you can pick whatever you want.
If we can have a trebuchet and the gun and whatnot, then you can have.
Yeah, you can have whatever weapon you feel.
Okay. Well, actually, I also have a gun blade.
Oh, okay.
A gun blade?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Dope as fuck.
Yes, I borrowed it from Squall. So yes, I would use that. And also since I have a katana, I have a way to deflect incoming projectiles. So I have both that, and I also have a firearm of my own. It also count as a blade.
I see.
He got range and.
Okay, all right. So
you should be dead.
Yes.
So now that we.
I will be able to dispose all of you, and no problem.
I see. So now that I hear
Evan,
this,
you should go next.
yeah, now that I hear
Okay.
this, this has got to be my turn now, because like I'm the resident strong man out of our group, right? That's my game plan is I big strong guy, I punch thing real good. So I'm gonna make use of my trebuchet, right? I'm gonna find a random mother, and a single mother preferably, and I'm gonna go, hey, listen, can I borrow your child real quick? And she's gonna say no, but I'm gonna take him anyway. And I'm going to sit inside of my trebuchet. I'm gonna say, all right, kid, when I say go, you're gonna hit that lever and you're gonna launch me towards the guy over there with the gun blade. And the kid will obviously he'll hear me out because I'm scary looking. And as soon as he nods and agrees, I'm going to go in the air and catapult over some of the shelves to get a surprise attack on you. I'm going to try to go for your back with a flying jump kick, okay? And if I see your sword at all, I'm going to try to catch it with my teeth, because I do teeth training every day to make my teeth as sharp and as agile as possible.
I've also been there for that. It's really fucking scary.
That's yeah.
Just like Jack Hanma.
Oh yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah. Be one of those.
All right. So okay, that's a good strategy, but since this is a scenario where I can use any weapons I have at my disposal, I have my gun blade. I also have my own abilities.
Oh, okay.
The instant transmission is one of those.
Oh fuck!
I see.
Oh, I was expecting that.
So I'll just use that the moment you get closer and closer. I'll just be behind you.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna be behind me. All right. As soon as I see you behind me, I'm gonna try to go for my kick. I'm gonna land on my feet, and I'm gonna spin around and try to hit you with a flying elbow. All right. That's my next goal. All right. What are you countering with that?
Well, I also have part of Dingen Cross Ryubudo Taijutsu.
All right.
have my own move, Sahohiji, which is translate the direct translation, if there is one, the closest one would be Threshold Elbow, and it's my own elbow move that I have.
I see.
Okay, so Evan
Yes,
just
I will
broke
be
all his
countering.
bones.
I will be countering your elbow move with my own.
I see. All right. Well, we're okay.
It
So
would be a clash.
that's a really good idea. I think it would take a lot of like fist blows to knock either of us out. So I think we would be there for a while, but I think you'd easily beat me after enough time.
Yeah.
So let's move over to Ripley.
Yeah, so my game plan is to go to the olive oil section, get a bunch of olive oil, and dump it all over the ground. So, like, depending on where you are, you're going to start slipping, right? So, beyond that point, I'm just going to go to
he is the craftiest one of us.
Yeah, he is pretty smart.
He is. And, like,
Ripley says that to himself. Just for saying, still 100%. Yeah, I am actually. I am very smart.
I am. And then I'm going to get like one of those kid toy cars and just start Tokyo drifting in that thing while launching 45-pound, like, you know, the 45-pound plates, just discus throwing them like around you. Tokyo drifting in that little toy car.
You know what? All right, Seth. Let's hear how are you going to counter this? What's your game plan, Seth?
Well, it's a very good idea to use your environment to your advantage. That's what a real martial artist do. Is that they think about their environments, what's around them,
Thank you.
and they use that to their advantage. So that's a good thinking there. But I also have my gun blade with me. So I will just unleash all the bullets I have left towards you.
I see.
Okay. As a backup plan, as well as being the most crafty person here, I am also omnipotent. I am omnipotent, so I would just teleport away.
I see. So actually, all right. Here, let's. Yeah, that's also not true. But here, all right. We'll do it like this. We obviously cannot beat you one-on-one. But if all four of us come up with a plan real quick and try to go up against you, do you think you could come up with a counter to that, maybe?
Yes. Well, it will definitely be harder.
Okay.
As you know, well, there's more in numbers, so it will be trickier.
Okay.
Definitely.
I see.
But I've done it before, so I think yes, that like that one time they tried to mug me. Which is similar to that, except this time it's actually a fight we all agreed on. So
Yeah.
It's honorable.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking, right? Let's get our game plan together, boys, all right? So like I'm melee, so I can play distraction since I can put up a fight with them for a couple of maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, right? Which will give you guys time to start getting stuff situated. So my idea is I'm still gonna go in with the launch. I'm gonna buy you guys some time. You guys gotta come up with something like real special. I'm gonna try to damage them, but I don't know what I can do.
All right. Are you willing to sacrifice your body?
Yeah, 100%.
So I am still sitting here with 3 Walmart employees posted up.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, because I also catch bullets with my teeth, so I think the bullets wouldn't really... Because that's like the problem, you know? Last time you tried to shoot me when I was at your place in Ohio, I just got the bullets all. So, like, I think if I can, so can Seth.
My dad was sitting there shock and awe, and I was sitting there like, dog, just don't shoot him.
Right, exactly, yeah. And then I ate your father, which gave me his powers, which is honestly just... It's been a growing cycle ever since.
Hey, yo, Carlos, can you hop in my car and make a mounted turret with all the...
Oh!
I sure can.
You know what? That's a better idea. Put the trebuchet in the cart with a mounted turret on the front for Carlos, and then me on the back so I can get launched at whenever we need. Ripley can put together oil grease traps on the side, and Creams can
that's
push
what I was
it.
thinking.
Yeah, and we can
my
we
God.
can deploy the oil traps while I'm moving around my cart.
That's an amazing idea, actually.
Oh, I'm gonna just like grab like a bunch of tennis balls and just dunk them in oil and start rolling them on the ground. So like there'd be like streaks of oil. So if he falls over and like he could just trip over the little oil traps I got. So.
Oh, and one last thing. We gotta get one person off the car every once in a while to bring me a child so I can eat it mid-combat so I can regain all my strength. That way,
Why is that necessary? Why do you need to do that?
because I need to buy us more time from Seth so he can't get to the cart. So you guys gotta, every once in a while, bring me a child for sacrifice so I can keep up my strength with Seth. I can't last more than 30 seconds without a sacrifice. He'll destroy me. So every 30 seconds, you guys got to bring me like a child or a human or even just like a really like a human-like dog even.
Let's not do.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So I would like I'll find like every mother and child with like a baby. Be like, all right, cool, guys, hide right over here. There's a dangerous man over there. Hide right over here, okay?
Yeah.
It's like I just need this one kid, and I'll grab like their like 2-month-old baby. Be like, Evan.
Yeah.
And then throw him over into your mouth.
That's what the trebuchet is for. You can trebuchet baby straight into my mouth, and I'll just jump up, catch him with my teeth, and juice them straight into sustenance so I can keep up with Seth. Now what, Seth? Now you have an almost infinite opponent, along with a mounted turret gun, oil grease traps, and 3 men with firearms shooting at you, along with me. So that's our current game plan. What's your game plan to counter it?
Well, I will definitely not get out of this fight unscathed. So I will definitely be taking damage. Although I still have my ninjutsu skills, so I will definitely try and keep away from the floor. Since you said you were gonna make the floor uninhabitable, I wouldn't be able to walk without tripping over or slipping on the floor. So I'm gonna be trying to get to I'm gonna try and elevate, get higher up as possible, and use from a distance, and also try and dodge the bullets coming towards me. I do have a lot of.
There's still the environment to work with. The environment is still like a normal store.
That is true. That is true.
So, well, I think I would probably take a few bullets, definitely. But a few is fine.
Yeah.
And I will definitely be, since we will be trading blows and parrying each other. We won't be taking a lot of damage, but you will keep me busy while I'm being attacked from different from just different directions. So that's why I need to be on the move at all times. Otherwise I would be otherwise it would be very hard. So that's what I'm going to have to do, and just try and take you out as fast as possible. I would definitely go with I would be tackling all the people with the guns first.
Oh, so you're gonna avoid me and just go straight for them?
Yes. And from what I've heard, you don't really have any agile ninjutsu skills.
Well, whenever it comes to movement, I'm very agile. I crawl on walls. I can jump long distances. It's like a Hulk type beat. You know, I'll jump off of a wall and then throw myself through a couple of things. You know, that's usually my game plan.
But do you have ninjutsu training?
I don't. Mine is more primal. You know, it's like have you ever seen like a bear or a lion? It's very like animalistic. It's just naturalistic, just raw strength.
Okay, so that means you are agile, but not quite as good as someone who is trained in ninjutsu.
I see.
Which means that I will be able to. I will definitely have an advantage there. So I will be trying to get away from you as fast as possible and try and dispose of the firearms wielding beings. And then it will be much easier take care of. I will definitely be tackling you last, and I will be moving quickly, and also use my instant transmission to move around in case it gets too risky.
I see.
It gets too close.
Damn, that is gonna be hard to. Fuck, that is gonna be pretty problematic, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do have planned. I'm very quick thinking in scenarios like this. I can come up with strategies very fast.
I see.
That's very good for a fighter.
That really is. That's what I was wondering. Actually, I was gonna say. I know it's not Japanese literature, but have you ever read The Art of War?
Yes, a long time ago.
Oh, I can tell.
I did that. Must have been 15 years ago, I believe.
Really?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's a really long time. Now, go on.
So yeah, it's been a while, but I remember there's things in there that are definitely viable. Even in non war scenarios, it's there's a lot you can learn from that.
I see. Carlos, do you have any questions for Seth, or just anything in general?
What's your favorite candy?
I hate this guy. We said he can't ask this. This is the one thing we said he could not ask. This fucking guy.
Stop.
I hate this fucking. Carlos is off the show. Carlos is his last episode. Alright.
You will replace Carlos from now on.
Yeah, Seth, from here on out, Carlos is out. Seth is in.
Okay. Well, to be fair, I'm not into sweets too much.
Oh,
that's fair.
I'm more of I like savory snacks the most.
I agree with that.
But I do enjoy Pocky, which has always been my all-time favorite. Mostly the matcha flavored one that's my favorite. But other than that, I don't eat chocolate or anything like that. It doesn't really. I can have a little bit of it, but it's something I can't eat a lot of. I think I would have to go with Pocky for that. It's not so super sweet as a lot of candy.
Is that a Swedish candy or is that a Japanese candy?
that's Japanese.
Japanese, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't. I have no idea.
it's like a little cracker stick with chocolate or different toppings like sauce on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
They're
That sounds
really good.
It sounds like Mexican candy.
Yeah,
They're
Pocky's
really
good.
They're sweet breadsticks.
Yeah.
That's what they're
Okay.
called.
I do have another question though. Very simple, very to the point. 1 billion SpongeBob's versus 1 Goku.
Who would
wins?
win? Yeah.
What 1 million what?
SpongeBob's. Hold up.
Oh,
I will provide a picture of SpongeBob.
Oh, I do know who it is.
Oh, okay.
So it's, but versus Goku?
Yeah, versus
Yes.
Goku.
Yeah, versus
Goku?
one Goku. So 1 billion SpongeBobs. It's like they're in a plane. Like there's nothing there. It's just a white plane of existence. You have 1 Goku versus 1 billion SpongeBobs. Who wins?
Goku, definitely.
Really?
Really?
There's a billion of them though. There's a billion of them.
Do you think Goku has enough like
Goku can just-
strength for that? Like he'd get tired eventually. There's a billion SpongeBob's.
Well, he can blow up a planet.
True.
That is true. Yeah, because
And that is if we count our planet, that's 8 billion.
that's true.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's spitting right now. He's
Really
right.
no debate.
Yeah, no, he's just right.
Let's think about the powers of a sponge, right? Because sponges, if you did not know, sponges can regrow like the same way a starfish regrows. So if he doesn't destroy every atom of that SpongeBob, he's gonna come back.
Well, will he be able to survive and move in space? Because Super
It's a sponge, of
Saiyans
course
are
it
able
can.
to do that.
Can he move in space? I don't know if SpongeBob can move in space.
I think SpongeBob. I
You said that with confidence, but no one fucking is gonna back you up on that. SpongeBob has
think that's
never been to
SpongeBob.
space.
Yeah, he has.
He can't even live. Has he?
Yeah, he has, but it's fake.
He has been in space.
When?
SpongeBob does know karate.
When he kidnapped the entire town.
Put the entire exact time and date and episode number right now, and if you don't, you're fucking wrong.
It's somewhere in season 1.
Okay, shut the fuck up. All right, stop. No,
right? They go to the moon, and then they go back, and they're just like, yes, this is a different planet, and they literally kidnap all of Bikini Bottom.
No, that didn't happen. That's not real.
It
So
happened.
okay, yeah, maybe it did. But even still, I don't know. Seth is right though. I never thought about that. If Goku can just break a planet, then yeah, they'll just be lost in space, and they can't like fly around like Goku can. He can maybe like
I do.
Okay,
Agree
no, they
with
can't do that. That's fair.
yeah, he might be able to like Dempsey shuffle a bit, but he ain't going anywhere towards Goku. They're not gonna work this out.
I do agree with Seth, but I'm just trying to, tell you that SpongeBob was in space.
He was in space.
I see.
And he
I
does
was
know
wrong.
karate.
And then but you said the whole mobility thing. He's like, no, you're right. No,
Yeah, no, I was wrong though. I guess SpongeBob.
He might
has been in
be able to
space.
live in space, but he can't move in space.
That's and like even if he could move in space, like I don't know, they'd be so just segmented and lost. And Goku's so fast. I don't know. There's just no way.
Yeah, no, Goku got it. Damn. Rip SpongeBob Planet.
Hey Seth, this is a really random question, right? I really like Dark Souls, right? And I saw that you made a Dark Souls 1 review, and you didn't like it that much. Can you have you tried it again? Or
I have played every single modern From Software game. I played Demon Souls. I played Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I've not played the new one, Elden Ring.
yeah.
But I played all of them, and they're all bad.
Oh, why do you think that is? Because Creams, every day he wakes up and he texts me 20 times. He goes, "You play fucking Elden Ring yet? You beat it yet?" And I go, "No, Creams, I don't like Elden Ring. It makes me frown." And then Creams proceeds to cry and scream and shit and cum, and all of these things are true. These are true stories.
He's lying there.
I'm not lying. This is not a lie. So Creams is very upset about whenever anyone doesn't like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, he breaks into tears. There was one time where he literally performed a song and dance to try to get me to play Elden Ring for him. I did not. I just didn't.
Okay, I did do that.
See? Yeah. So...
Well, I do have... Well, it is... First of all, it is a game that you would think... You think it's a Japanese game when you play it, right?
Yeah.
It's made by Japanese people.
It is made technically by Japanese people, but From Software is a studio that mainly makes games for Westerners, and that influence also seeps into their game design. And what it does is that it's creates a bad it's just a bad influence for game design in general. Implement Western game design philosophies, and
I do agree. I do agree with that.
Yes. Well, the game, it's I would say there are definitely worse games out there, especially Nintendo games.
Yeah.
But when it comes to I just couldn't believe the disrespect they have for their own culture. For example, in Dark Souls, you have a katana that's completely unusable, and it is useless. It is a useless weapon, and that's when I understood that they are not just trying to make a game that appeals to Westerners. They're making a game that appeals to Westerners while also making fun of Japanese culture, their own culture.
I don't know. Well,
One question.
Never
go
realized that.
ahead, Ripley.
Did you know that there is like a whole katana-based class in Elden Ring, and like the katanas are like one of the most strongest weapons in the game?
Oh, is that their answer maybe then? Because people are probably complaining that they were making bad katanas.
Well, there's another thing too. Is they made Sekiro, which is like I believe it's based off of old Japanese culture and all that stuff and like legend.
Yeah.
And, so like, what was your reaction to Sekiro?
What? When I played through that, it was it was just like the other ones. I also played Bloodborne. Bloodborne was really, it was just more Dark Souls. So I made a video on that as well, and it was there wasn't really much I could add to the game that wasn't in Dark Souls, so I really had to find new stuff to talk about in that one. And all their games, that's also something that I don't understand, is that all their games are just the same.
I would agree that they have a similar feel, but I also believe they have a ton of differences that sort of keep them apart. Like Sekiro's got more of an emphasis on parrying, while Bloodborne's more just like get up in the opponent's face, rush them down. Dark Souls can be slow. I think there's a lot of small differences, but I do agree they have a similar game feel, which is why I don't personally engage with them. Because I feel they all feel very like slow, very very like. And not that that's a bad thing, but it's definitely not my taste in games. I like the more fast-paced, like TF2 or Risk of Rain, things that you can just hop in the action and do crazy stuff in.
Well, with for example, there isn't really a demand, or at the time there wasn't really a demand for it, because Demon Souls, the first game, was a complete flop, and the director or the CEO of Sony said that the game was didn't do well because it wasn't very good. It was a bad game. That's why it didn't perform well. Somehow From Software tried again with Dark Souls, and somehow people were buying it.
I definitely think it has an audience, because even though I don't enjoy the gameplay, I would say the world building is beautiful. I think the music and the soundtrack is just a genuine dream to listen to. It definitely has its charms, but its gameplay is what draws me away. And for you, that might be the thing that draws you away. Might be its disrespect or perceived disrespect towards the Japanese culture. Maybe that's what turns you off from it.
It's also the gameplay also is very. Well, it's very messy, especially, and Dark Souls is, and I've heard this from many people that have also said that Dark Souls, they didn't finish the game. At the later half of the game is a mess because they weren't able to finish all of it.
As a player of the game, I can't vouch that the second half of the game is not that good.
Why do you think that is, James? What do you think sort of holds the second half back where the first half is so strong?
I don't know. They're just not there. Yeah, as I think as Seth said, I don't think they finished it.
Yeah.
It feels unfinished.
I don't know.
Seth, I got a question.
Okay.
So,
yes,
if you were just teleported to any anime, right, and you get to live your life there, which anime are you choosing and why?
It's a great fucking question.
This is a hard question. Oh wow. Well, my gut instinct would say Naruto.
Really?
But because that is my favorite manga of all time.
Oh, it is. Okay, I was gonna ask that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. Keep going.
Yes. But because you also have to think, even though you like the world, maybe you have to think about what you can do in that world and what kind of what role you would be playing. I think Dragon Ball is also a really fun one because you could. It's pretty much limitless abilities that you can learn and get good at. There's also a lot of says you can just move around and any way you want, whether it's in the air, on the ground, everything. You can't really do it in the same way in the Naruto world as you can in Dragon Ball. There's also, well, there's so many. Aside from, well, I would say I would choose a JRPG world. Persona or Final Fantasy VII would be up there. But if we're just talking about manga and anime, then Yeah, that is a hard question. I think at the moment I'm thinking Dragon Ball. But it is something that I need to think about.
I see.
In reality, I would like to visit all of them.
I also have a counter question now. So, take in consider what I just asked you, but you are just like a normal guy. Like you're just yourself in this world, and you get transported to their world. So like
Like
not
an
like
isekai.
crazy super. Yeah, basically. Which world would you prefer to live in? Because I always say I would rather just stay here, because I'm not gonna live in Attack on Titan. I'm not gonna live in fucking One Punch Man where somebody could just blow up my building and I'm just dead.
Why would you
I'm
not
gonna
want to
go like
live
that
in
world.
Attack on Titan? There's so many fun activities, like getting eaten and forced suicide before a Titan pops you in its big fucking mouth. Like, these are all fun games for the whole family that you could, involve yourself in.
Like there could be like threats anywhere, and like I can't do anything about it because I'm just me. Like there's nothing I can do about it.
That is true. I do think in that regard, if it's just me, now I do have fighting abilities, but I wouldn't say it's on the same level as the top Dragon Ball characters, since we are limited here in our world, so what we can do. But of course I can learn, because if I'm part of that world, I can also learn. I can also channel ki if I wanted it, because it's in the air and it's something everyone can do there. But since I don't have that ability immediately when I go there, it would take time. And in that sense, that's
Yeah, because like I would say, I would rather
that
just
is a
live.
hard question.
Yeah, because like I said, I would rather just live like in like a slice of life if I had to, just so like it's nothing crazy.
Oh,
You know, like-
yes. I would live in the world of Ducky Star.
What's that?
That is a slice of life manga and anime from 2007. It's one of my favorites.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I love
That's
anime. Man.
That's a very popular one.
Oh, is it? I don't usually watch Slice
Yeah.
of Life. Most of my stuff is from Shinichiro Watanabe or Tatsuki Fujimoto or any of those guys.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then, because it is a slice of life. But I really like the characters in that one. I know that that would definitely be one. Now that you mentioned slice of life, that's a very good choice. Go with slice of life.
Yeah. I have a question. Have you ever traveled to Japan?
That's a great question.
I have, yes.
Really?
Oh.
How was that?
That was great. It was the best vacation I've ever had. I went to Tokyo. I didn't go outside of Tokyo, unfortunately. It was just so much fun. I went there with my parents in what would it be? 2016, I believe.
Oh, so it's been a bit.
2016. Yes,
Yeah, but it's not too
been
long
a while.
ago.
2016 or 2017? No, 2016 definitely. And it was about a year after I started my channel. So it's I have a video on it.
Oh,
I went to
really? I must have missed that
a
one.
short.
I didn't see that one.
Well, it was mostly just me updating everyone that I got back from Japan and all the stuff that I bought. Because I couldn't bring a camera.
Oh,
All I
really?
had was one. Yes, because all I had was a camcorder, and it did not work. The battery on it has been dead for a long time, so I can only use it if I hook it up.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have loved to see a
yes.
Japan vlog from you. I would have loved to see what you did.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do, but that's something I have planned for the future. So
Really?
That's something I'm going to do.
That would be amazing.
I'm going-
We want to go at some point, actually, as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Maybe you'll run
is
into you at a
It is a
Japan.
great time.
That'd be great if we ran into you. We would finally do that duel. We could see our potential, you know?
Yeah. You can run into Japan at a Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, it would be at a 7-Eleven or a Lawson or something like that.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, a good 7-Eleven duel. Oh, I can use the gas station hot dogs for sustenance instead of children. This is all lining up. This will be great. We could save children. We could save casualties. It'd be great. It'd be a good time. I don't know.
Like, what was your favorite things to do in Japan?
Yeah.
Well, I went to Akihabara, which is the entertainment and electronic district in Japan. They have a lot of anime there, and figurines, manga, and everything like that. It is a great time to go. You're gonna have a great time going there. And when it comes to, well, I can say this for if you're gonna have fun if you go to Japan and all you do is go to restaurants and eat.
That's actually really good to hear because I'm actually a cook. I've been in culinary school and I got out of that, and now I'm a cook at a pretty high end kitchen. So food is something I can get down with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the service you get in Japan is I've never had better service than in any other country than I had in Japan, and they're very picky when it comes to how the food is made, and that everything should be on. They're all trying their best when it comes to making food and the service, and it's very impressive, and I was it was very pleasant overall. The people are very nice. I know a lot of Westerners like to who are jealous of Japanese. They try to talk badly about Japanese people and calling them names, and
really
that they are.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me actually, because I see it's kind of the opposite. Like everyone loves anime and manga, and especially their food. Like me and Ripley hang out and we get sushi all the time, and like we love that Japanese restaurant. Like it's pretty popular here too.
Yeah, like ironically, I feel like Japan did a lot for like media.
Right, 100%.
Yes. So what that's what surprises me. But I think it just stems from those people are just jealous that Japan gets so much praise. Because they always say that Japanese people are hateful and toxic people, which is not true at all. I went to Japan and they accepted me very quickly.
That's what I've heard a lot actually, that Japanese people love watching people come over and enjoy their culture. I've seen a lot of vlogs from Japan too. People seem to like it a lot to see Americans come over and enjoy their culture, but not even Americans, just other people like foreigners.
Yeah. And what they say, and then their counter argument is that, well, the older people, all the aging population are racist, and they're just bad people, but that is not true either. They're very pleasant and very nice. I've never, not a single person I saw was rude or anything towards me when I was there. And I talked to a lot of people. I went out, in the evenings. I didn't. My parents stayed at the hotel, and I went out and visited all the bars, because Japan has a lot of really those walk-in bars. They're just like maybe 4 or 5 seats, and they have a lot of small bars like that where you can just sit and talk to the bar owner or the people that they sit there. Japanese people are very sociable in those settings, and they like to talk a lot. It's usually during the day when it's very stressful. They usually keep to themselves and don't talk too much, which makes daytime in Japan is very quiet and nice. And then on the when it's nighttime, they're usually very talkative and they talk a lot. From my experience, in a good way. So that means that you don't get bothered or anything when you're out and about in Japan. Not even not even homeless people are annoying there.
Really? Yeah, I was actually
they're-
homeless for a while, which is
Oh.
I loved that shit, man. It was really fun. I feel like it'd be nice to be in Japan and homeless because they got city there. I was pretty much out of the country.
They're very respectful, and in Japan also it's illegal to beg for money.
Really?
Or anything like
That's
yes, so,
interesting.
so
Also,
they,
everyone can't get his like late night Taco Bell.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, where would I get my money from? All I would do is I'd run around and I'd be like, little boy, I know you're gonna buy candy with that, but you could instead buy me a pack of Black and Mild. Just like, you'd sit here and smoke right in front of your face. I could blow smoke in your face. Think of how fun that'd be.
So Seth, if begging for money is illegal, like is like charity allowed? So like if you see a homeless person, can you offer them money, or is like that not allowed either?
they usually won't accept it because they don't feel right taking money without, because in their mentality is that they can't accept something for free. So either maybe you, for example, I know someone who was asking for, he was gonna give away a one of those, I don't know if you've seen those cup sake bottles. They're those bottles that have that are like cheap sake you can buy at convenience stores in Japan, and he was gonna give it away to a homeless person, and he wouldn't accept it. And then he asked for directions, and he accepted the bottle after that.
Oh, we actually, when I was growing up, I grew up in a bit of a poor area. I ran into a lot of people who did a similar thing. There was one guy in particular that when we would go out to eat, he would offer to clean our car for us. He had his own little like vacuum that he kept in his backpack, and he'd plug it into the outlet right next to the fast food place you're at, and he'd just like vacuum clean our car and like all that stuff. And the only stipulation is like we'd give him $10 and he can keep whatever change he found in the console. So we would leave like extra change for him. And I remember that was we used to do that a lot here too, actually.
There's like the people who walk around with like water bottles or like offer to clean your windshield.
Oh yeah, that's more like Mexico though. I know Mexico does it. Even in the
No, that's Baltimore, bro.
is it Baltimore?
That happens a lot in Baltimore. Like people just walk around like water spray, will be like water spray, and they'll just like knock on your window.
When I was in Baltimore, man, I didn't get to see that. I wish I would have, because then I would have joined them. I would have been
You
like,
didn't
yeah.
go to like you went to the city, but you didn't go to like I don't know, like where the people live in the city.
Damn, bro. I asked you to take me around. You didn't take me around to see the water people? You know what I like. You know what I like. Yeah, you didn't let me learn any new homeless techniques for whenever I'm inevitably homeless again. Come on, man. It's a bad friend. You're just a bad friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of crazy because, like, Seth, like, you know, all the homeless people there are respective. Like, I live where a lot of homeless people are. They'll just stab you if you don't give them any money.
Oh, yeah. No, there are those too.
Oh, from my understanding, in Japan, a lot of homeless people still have a lot of pride. So that's why when it comes to they wouldn't even if it was legal to beg, I don't think they would, because they would be they would think it feels wrong. It's similar with tipping. You can't tip when you're in Japan. When you're in like restaurants and stuff. There's no like tipping culture or anything like that. Tipping would be disrespectful, and it would cause trouble also.
Really?
I can imagine, honestly.
Yes.
From how the culture sounds,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like.
Because if you leave money, extra money, they would think you. The thing that usually, because people don't tip there, when people do, and there's more money than they should have, then they could potentially get in trouble that they're taking more money from customers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's also the where some that think that they paid too much. There's been people that had the for example store owner or restaurant overrun after them and give them the money back.
Really?
Yes.
That's like
that does happen.
so different than how it is here. Here, if you don't tip, you're about to get like shot. Like people are very much. If you don't tip me, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find where you
It's
live.
not.
We'll take the food out of your stomach and put it back on.
Yeah, 100% will happen.
I don't know. It's more like for like waiters and for like people who like would usually get tips. It's just like that's kind of their main source of income other than just getting paid because they don't get paid that much. So like tip
Oh,
like
I've heard
really
that.
helps.
Yeah, that is like
Tip culture's a
yeah, that is a thing they sort of do because like normally it allows people who are in server positions to get paid less because a lot of their income, a majority of their income will be what is it called from tips. Yeah, so like that's sort of how our culture is very based. Is that what it's like in Sweden at all?
In Sweden, I would say it's somewhere in between. You only tip if you are satisfied with the service, and you think they did a good job. That's when you tip. Which is usually when you go out and eat. You usually tip a little bit, just if you had a good. Unless it was straight up bad, you wouldn't tip. But I'm pretty sure that. Waiters and stuff they have an actual monthly pay. That's just they don't when you tip it doesn't go to the waiter or anything like that or the waitress. It just goes to the store.
Oh,
I don't know that.
yeah, that's actually not too bad. That's good.
So, I also have another question. What is your dream girl like? Because we know you like watch like VTubers.
Don't you
and
dare
everything.
take my question. I love this. All right, Seth. Seth, now listen to me. Me and you on a level to level. Me and you are the same person. We love VTubers. All right, me and you, we're the same guy. We love VTubers.
Oh, really?
Evan
Yeah.
is in fact a VTuber.
I am a VTuber. I am two VTuber women. No, I'm not. But I do love me some VTubers. Why is Krone your favorite VTuber? I've seen your video. I know it was only meant for her eyes, but as a fan, I felt I needed to watch to see what my favorite creator was up to. Why is she in particular your favorite? Okay.
She's very fun. She's very, well, she's very kawaii. She's very funny. And she's a great entertainer overall. It's a great design, and also she has a nice voice, and I like everything about her. That's why she's my favorite.
Would you pick Krone over a normal woman, like a real like 3D woman?
Well, she is a
She
real
is, yeah,
person.
she is a real person. I mean, like sort of like our dimension though, because we can't meet her, right?
I will see what you mean. Not prefer. I would say it's on the same. On the same level. Oh, of course, if I'm going to, I have plans for the future to move to Japan, to get married, to have a family. Of course, that's going to happen at some point.
Of course.
So it's a hard question, but right now I am feeling both. I don't particularly prefer one or the other. But if I'm in the future, I'm probably gonna, since I am gonna start a family. I am gonna get a, what do you call a 3D wife.
I see.
That's going to happen. So
Now, what is your, whenever you think of your dream girl, what is your dream girl like?
well, someone who is thoughtful, someone who is beautiful,
Oh, all right.
and someone who is faithful and loyal, and someone who can take care of the family and the house, the house chores, and the cooking and the children while I'm away at the office working.
So
yes,
you want to work in an, because I know you're forklift certified, so I feel like you have very big things ahead of you. But do you work in an office now?
Sorry, what did you say?
I know you're
cutting out there.
Oh, sorry. I know you're forklift certified, so I feel like you have big things in your future, you know? You're obviously a dedicated man who knows how to get things done, so I was wondering, do you intend to work in an office when you go to Japan?
Well, I'm going to Japan, so I gotta start working in an office.
I see.
Become an office worker. I also plan to become a game designer. Well, I already am a game designer, but as a career once I move to Japan and start making RPGs, preferably at Square Enix. And that is where I want to work in the future.
Pretty big.
And I've already been in now. Let's forget about that. But yes, I would like to work at Square Enix.
What do you think you would bring? Okay, so here's my idea, right? We're gonna be the 4 executives of Square Enix, right? And you're gonna give us your sales pitch as to why we should hire you, just to practice, you know, whenever you end up going to Japan, so we can guarantee you that job. You know, we'll be as stringent as possible. That way, you can really refine your craft. So whenever you're in front of them, it's a cinch. You can just get that job right off rip. All right?
What's happening? I wasn't here. Hello, this is Sledge Post Podcast. I'm here to explain why for like 20 minutes I just wasn't there. So we're in the middle of the podcast. My brother came to my room. He says, "Hey, I'm going to get food." And I said, "Can it wait?" And he said, "No." So I said, "Oh, fuck, all right." And I got up. We got in the car. And holy shit, did this just take so fucking long. Like, we were driving down and we hit every fucking stoplight. We were behind every fucking slow car that could have been. We drove up a goddamn mountain. Everything that could have gone wrong did. And when we got to Arby's, there was a line of cars almost out into the fucking freeway. So I guess to make a short story shorter, I'm unprofessional and I'm going to do nothing about that. Peace.
But before that, okay, so we are like the executives of Square Enix, like we're the top-notch people, and we're interviewing Seth, just so if he wants to like join us for like game designing and everything. But we have to have roles. I'll be art direction and music direction.
Okay, then I will be. Oh, go ahead, Crames. I'll let you pick.
What? I didn't say anything.
Ripley wants you to pick what position you want. I'll go last.
Oh, okay. I'll be just a normal dude, just a game developer.
Okay. just general game developer.
I'm just standing for like your example of a good worker, I guess.
Okay, so he's our top employee. Yeah, he's our top employee.
Yeah, employee of the month.
Yeah, employee of the month. Yes.
It will be like a programmer then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Kramer's your programmer. All right, Carlos, what are you?
You know the guy that goes on stage during E3?
No, I was. Yeah, sure. You can. Fine. No, I don't want it anymore. No, I don't want it anymore. No, I just don't want it. I don't want it. No, I don't want it anymore. No, I don't want it. No, you're not on it. No, I wanted to be a janitor. Actually, that was what I really wanted. Go be a fucking E3 in your stupid suit. You already have your job. You're the only one with a job. But shut the fuck up. You can't change your shit. You're the only one with an official title.
Ivan, here's an idea.
Okay.
We both do it.
No, we can't both be janitors.
Yeah, no, what the fuck? We both go on stage during E3.
Alright, fine. Now pick another job anyway.
Think about it, man. Think about it. No, think about it. It's Square Enix. It's Square to Enix, bro. There's 2.
Oh, see, you know what, Carlos? You're now in charge of marketing because that was tight. All right, me.
Okay, so marketing and CEO.
No. He's marketing, and then I'll be CEO, I suppose.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Literally what I.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, you were right. Fuck you. Shut up.
All right. So.
No,
Steph, I'm. Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just nothing.
You just tripped up on your words.
Square to Enix, bro. There's 2.
Oh, see, you know what, Carlos? You're now in charge of marketing because that was tight. All right, me.
Okay, so marketing and CEO.
No. He's marketing, and then I'll be CEO, I suppose.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
that's what he said.
Literally what I.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, you were right. Fuck you, shut up.
All right. So,
no,
Seth, I'm. Huh?
no, go ahead. I'm sorry, I just nothing.
You just tripped up on your words.
I don't want to hear shit from you. All right.
See, the CEO was not well today, but me, I am programmer. What can you offer to the team?
Yeah.
Well, I have a history with JRPGs, which is Square Enix, you guys' specialty.
Oh,
I've started playing games ever since the Final Fantasy VII days, and I have great plans for JRPGs of the future.
What kind of plans we talking
And for the
here?
company.
What kind of plans do you
Well,
have?
I have a lot of interesting game mechanics that would be useful in future games that have not been seen in JRPGs or any Square Enix games before. And I think that fellow Japanese RPG fans will enjoy.
Can we? Can I? One second. I'm gonna grab my assistant real quick. Cheryl, one second. I'll call her on the phone. You keep this running. All right. I gotta check this and see what I'm gonna do a background check on you. Okay. And we'll do that while this is going. Okay. You three run it up.
This got really weird.
yeah, I don't know why I did that.
No. It's fun. You guys.
I know,
This is important.
No longer want to do this bit.
No, this is important. No, this is important. This is important. You guys, you keep this up.
Okay. Well, Seth,
Yes.
what are your strengths and weaknesses?
I have no weakness. I know everything about JRPGs and all about Square Enix history. I know every game that was released from Final Fantasy VII and
Yeah.
later. So I have a lot to add. As for the Final Fantasy series, and my own ideas for games as well.
Can you propose some of your ideas? Well, like I know you mentioned the mechanics, but you never said what they were, or is it too much?
Yeah. Okay. Is that
Well,
true? Okay.
I have a very revolutionary
Awesome.
idea that I want to add
I'll be right
to
back.
the.
Bye. Yeah. See. Love you.
I have a very revolutionary idea when it comes to JRPGs, and it is called. I have a name for it actually that I think will be very. Let me just look through my papers here.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So the idea,
I lean
the
over to
idea
Chris.
is
Okay.
Get off me.
I just put my head on
the
Chris.
main.
That's
The
it.
main.
I just get in Chris's face.
I sit in Cream's lap when I sit down for my phone call.
Hey, okay. Get off,
I
guys.
let
Get off.
I let Cream sit in my lap.
Okay.
Thank you.
We are now a power tower of CAOs, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay, so listen to this. My idea is that I don't only have a JRPG, but I also have a character action game and a platformer in the same game.
I see.
So the main mechanic that I would like to talk about, my idea, is the mechanic of genre shifting. Where with just a push of a button, you can change the genre of the game you're playing.
Oh.
If you're playing a JRPG, a turn-based JRPG, you can push a button, and now it's an action game, and all the stats and the skills transfer over to the new genre that you just pushed, and it's an action game.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but also I don't know if it'll sell to the Western audience, which, as we all know, is our biggest buyers.
Well, yeah, you are the king of marketing. So Carlos, do you have any questions for him about this? Like, how do you want him to market it, or do you intend to take over the marketing, or what do you think? I look down at him and I bestow one kiss upon his forehead.
Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Actually, I think it sounds quite interesting. I would love to play that game, actually. But I don't know if the modern gamer would be down for that, so to speak.
Well,
As the dev of Mario, like I created Mario, I want you to know. This does sound very interesting, but to implement that, it would take a lot of programming. And Creams is our number one employee. Like that's a lot of stress on him. So do you have?
And he's going through a divorce right now. He's going through a really fucking messy divorce. He is not getting the kids, and he is not getting the house.
You guys didn't have to bring it up, man.
No, but it is really sad and pathetic, and he cries all the time at work, and we try to console him, but at this point, it's just tiresome.
Hold on, I'm getting a call.
I tell him all the time, listen, buddy, you gotta stop crying. It's bad for our image. If anyone sees you crying, our stock price is gonna just sink
100%.
straight down.
100%.
And he just keeps crying.
And I keep talking to Cheryl about it. Apparently, he's been hitting on Cheryl an excessive amount. It is literally terrifying. He will follow her home. He will pretend that it's his wife. He'll call her his wife's name. It's sad shit. It's real sad shit. We can't have any more stress on this Creams guy.
Okay. So,
I'm getting a call from your ex-wife. Guess what's up? Hello?
Oh, Cheryl, I just got off the phone with her.
Yeah.
wait, what?
You want me to have your kids? Okay, yeah, I'll take them.
That lying bitch. She said the same shit to me. She said the same thing to me.
Sorry.
She's full of shit. It's my kid. Anyway, yeah, Creams. How would this be? How would this work be on you? How do you think this would feel?
Seth, you're hired.
Well, all right. Well,
You're taking my spot.
But I have more things to add.
oh really? Oh well, go ahead. Well, in order to add it though, since you've been added to the company, find a spot in the power tower. Feel free to sit on Ripley or.
Actually, hold on, no, I can free up space. I grab a paperclip and I slit Creams' throat. And I
Oh
just
my
throw him on
god!
Jesus Christ, you're on top of me, man.
Oh my god! I giggle. I eat him.
Okay. I am not
We do
pleased.
have an open spot, Seth, so you may sit down.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat business, Seth. Feel free to take a seat anywhere on Carlos.
Okay.
Okay.
I shove my hand up Creams' dead body's ass and I move his mouth like a puppet. So now he's my little puppet.
I thought I ate him, so I cough up Creams for this.
So I shove my head up your ass and then move you as a puppet.
And then Creams' head comes out of my mouth.
Okay, I'm alive. I came back alive. Okay. Get your hand up my ass.
This sucks. This is awful. What the hell is wrong with you?
This is very professional. What do you mean?
It came back to life, Seth.
Yeah.
I want to hear your other ideas.
Yeah, what's your other ideas?
Well, for this game that I have planned, back in the day, people liked games. I've heard demands for this. People say this all the time at Square Enix. They want party-based JRPGs.
Really?
And so, I have an idea for a game with over 100 playable characters.
Whoa.
Oh, very expensive.
There's a game series that I'm not gonna mention my name since it is from a different company.
I see.
That did this, and it was a very popular game, and people want to see more of those.
I see.
And you see
Yes.
these companies, these JRPGs they're making JRPGs again. We're getting sequels to we're getting sequels to Wild Arms, on Fantasia coming out. There's a lot of demand for JRPGs, classic JRPGs, and
So we do it.
there's also a new game coming out from developers who also made classic JRPGs, which is related to what I'm talking about. That has a lot of playable characters. I think this is what Square Enix should be aiming for, to keep up, since there are a lot of people that are looking into playing these types of games again.
I see.
And Square Enix should be on the same level as everyone else.
Now,
So should we? So you're saying we should try to hop on the trend before it gets too popular? So we ride it out.
We should be there early on, so that
Well, we don't know that it's a trend yet. We just know that people are asking for it.
He has the numbers. Okay.
That's true.
He does have the number sledge.
Yeah, Seth. Speaking of numbers, how many push-ups can you do? This is the interval to the game making process.
Push-ups?
Yeah,
well, I don't really do push-ups, so
I see.
I don't know.
I see.
I mostly just do my
As long as you can do more than creams, it's fine.
schedule.
Yeah. Because if we're gonna replace creams, we need someone stronger than him physically. Because we do have rat invasions constantly, and whenever those happen, I want a big, strong, burly man that can help us slay the rat horde. And this creams fella, honestly, has been kind of slacking.
Well, that's not a problem for me.
Oh, perfect.
That's definitely something I can do. So that's that's no issue.
I see.
But when it comes to games, games with people like JRPGs with lots of content. That is what would be important. And if we make a classic game, we don't have to use the current most flashy graphics, because that's not what people care about. They care about the mechanics and the writing.
Writing is my favorite. So that's if we have some good writing in this, then I might just greenlight this project right now.
Yeah, exactly. And as the writer of Dragon Ball Z, like I do approve of writing.
And as the maker of Mario, I also approve of the writing.
All right. Music. Music is a big part of JRPG.
You know what? Actually, Creams is our resident musician. Creams, could you hit us with another freestyle rap for whatever the game, what the game soundtrack would sound like?
I refuse. You guys have to leave me alone.
You did it last episode. You do it now. You dance. Boy.
Dance,
Let me know somebody.
I already have.
Oh.
Oh, he's already better than creams.
Seth, could you give us an a cappella rendition of what you think the soundtrack of the game would be?
Well, I wouldn't be making the music,
I see.
but I have a person in mind that is gonna be making the music. Nobuo Uematsu.
I see. Could you give us a rendition of what their music sounds like, a cappella?
Yes, I have. We have classics like, for example, Still More Fighting would be.
All right.
I know that one.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I've heard that many times before. That's a good one.
Wait, where's that from? I feel like I heard that before.
Then we also have
Yeah, all right. This guy, he's hired.
Wait,
this guy's got it.
What'd you say his name is?
Nobuo Uematsu. You guys should know who it is. He created all the music from Final Fantasy 1 to 10.
I actually,
I am him.
I was just looking him up and I was like, this guy's on our payroll.
yeah, this guy. Yeah, we actually do have him on here, huh?
And since it's a classic JRPG, people are gonna love to have Uematsu back on a classic JRPG. This is just gonna be a hit immediately.
You know, this all sounds very good. Go on.
I said, I guess we should consult with each other to see whether he is worth hiring. I have
I do have one last thing. While I was calling Creams' wife, I did actually hear back on that background check that Seth, I hear something really tragic happened on September 11th for you. What was that?
Something very tragic?
Yes, your friend, your nearest and dearest pal, Shadow the Hedgehog. What happened to him on September 11th?
Yes, that was September 11th, 2016.
Yes.
Yes, that was the day when I released the Pokemon Go review.
Oh.
And that's when Shadow the Hedgehog. That was the last time we saw Shadow the Hedgehog on the channel.
Do you have any?
say-
Do you have any word from what he's been up to? Because I've been hearing some scary stuff in the news about him recently. I was wondering if you're still affiliated with him.
Well, no. The last time I heard from him, he was Nintendo had him brainwashed, and then he released him in another dimension through a dimension portal at the end of the Breath of the Wild review.
I see.
And that's the last time. That's the last time we saw Shadow the Hedgehog.
Creams'
No,
wife told me that she was doing some research and she saw that he was involved in that mass shooting a couple weeks back. Is that the same Shadow the Hedgehog? Is he possibly now evil?
I don't know. I don't know what. But he was working with Nintendo.
I see. So it's possible.
Oh, dude, he could be a ploy.
I don't know what he's up to. That's
And all that happened at
we
like.
might know for in the future.
I see. Well, we'll be waiting with bated breath for that. Now,
I'm like, you last seen one like 9/11, right? September 11th.
yep, September 11th.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I wasn't.
let's the four of us huddle up in a little group real quick. We'll push Seth over here out of the power tower, and we'll see what we're thinking. Okay, all right, boys.
Okay, guys, we got a problem. I've been looking into Noboru Uematsu, right?
Okay.
Yeah. This guy doesn't work for us anymore.
I could easily kidnap him.
Yeah,
I could 100% easily grab him.
He was forced to resign due to ill health.
I can just grab him. I'll just heal him up.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I have 10 band-aids. I could do anything.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Literally, sorry, next we could do anything.
Yeah, I could literally do anything.
Uematsu is still making music, so I think
He is still making music. He just doesn't work for Square Enix anymore.
Yes, but I do think
could commission him.
Yes, he would not mind at all. He is very open to it. In fact, that's what he has been, because he has gotten the question: is he will ever do music with Square Enix again? And that he has said that, well, I'm open to be commissioned by. I don't have any problem with working on another game with them.
So the band-aids are unnecessary. That's promising. I did want to save these. Yeah.
Rainy day fund and whatnot.
Yeah, I do really like using these, and they have cool little designs on them. But yeah, so
Is that a Hello Kitty one?
don't look at my fucking band-aids, you piece of shit. You're not getting one.
Can I get a
You're not
Band-Aid?
fucking. No, you're fired. You're
I
fired.
grab-
You're off. You're fired. You're fired. I fucking listen to me. I wrote the Final Fantasy soundtrack. Get the fuck out of my office. I'm the CEO, bitch. I'm the CEO. Get off my shit. Get in the power tower. You're out of the huddle. I kick Ripley in his chest out the fucking 15th story window. He falls to the ground and dies on impact. All right, boys. So we're gonna need a fourth party member because a tragic suicide just happened before us.
Well, I think it has to be Seth.
I think so. I think he's promising.
I don't know. Can we just get Kev?
Oh, we could get Cav.
No.
Okay, he said no, so
Fair
yeah,
enough.
let's get Seth in here. Seth, as the CEO of Square Enix, I'd like to offer you a position at our sort of headquarters as the creator of Mario, if you could.
Well, no, no.
It's just your title. It's just your title. You don't have to work on Mario. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, well we can name it something cool.
That kind of title.
Okay, so what kind of title would you like?
Square Enix is not. Mario is not a Square Enix.
No,
title.
it's not. It's
made by
Nintendo. Yeah, it's Nintendo. So what would you like your title to be then? I'll let you pick it.
Well, game designer.
Okay.
Just like Sakaguchi before me and Yoko Taro, who is currently with you guys.
Yeah, me and him are very
Who's
fond.
one of
He
my
also
current
slept with
favorites.
Krim's wife.
Can you stop?
Could you please, for the love of
walk
God, get over your
back
wife?
in.
I shoot Ripley in the head with a gun. I pull out an
sit
AR-15.
down.
I shoot him in the head.
Ripley climbed a 50-story building just to get shot in the head.
This fucking guy.
Another person of me walks in there, sits
I
down.
shoot that one.
So, There's a stampede of Ripley's outside.
They multiply like guinea pigs.
I throw a black hole grenade in the hallway. All of them get absorbed.
A black
So
hole
everybody's
grenade.
Yeah.
Phoenix just fucking dies.
Yes, Ripley, you are not allowed to come back to my office. I will kill this entire company before I let you fucking step foot in here. I will burn this place to the fucking ground.
Remote, just stand outside the door. Just don't come in the office. Just stand outside the door.
I put on a cute little disguise. I just put on a mustache and a funny hat, and I walk back in and sit down.
I dap him up. I have no idea.
You're like 2 inches tall.
I dap him up. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's Ripley.
Also,
We are
walking
clueless.
in on my knees.
So,
Mr. Sword, I've got some questions. Mr. Sword? So, with this job opportunity, there's a lot of things I believe that you can do here. What do you think that you'll be working on the most? Yes.
Okay. I see.
Me?
Yeah, Seth. What would you like to work on at our company in particular?
As a game designer, first and foremost, I would also like to work on to oversee projects. Producer role is I want to keep check on everything that's happening on my projects. That's how I do. I am the one with the ideas first and foremost, and then I have programmers working under me who I can tell what to do.
Yeah, so it's like a game director. Right?
Yeah, like a CEO.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to be CEO,
Shit, the CEO. Yeah.
yeah.
I need to do one of those.
I shoot Ripley in the head. I shoot him in the fucking head for even bringing that possibility up. I keep my role.
Well, I think I wouldn't mind having the position of a CEO, but there's so much work outside of making games that I prefer being the game designer and the producer or the.
So like you wouldn't want your image to be out there. You just want to have your name on the game.
I just want to work on the game. I want to create art.
That's fair.
A martyr. Yeah, he's a martyr. That's very noble. So we need more of that. Unlike Ripley, who's a piece of shit and a liar, and I hope he would die.
Can we stop attacking Ripley? He didn't do anything wrong.
Ripley exists in my presence. That's enough.
Yeah.
I wake up.
I wake up. All right. Well, boys, it's been a really long podcast. Does anyone have any last questions for Mr. Sephirothsword57?
I have one question.
One question. Okay.
So
Yeah.
you seem that like you really hate like Western culture. Do you just hate Westerners?
No, that's not true. I don't hate Western culture. I just wish that there are aspects of Western culture that could be better. Especially when it comes to our rude attitudes from a lot of Westerners. We could learn a lot from
look at
Japanese
us.
culture. Be more respectful towards each other, and just we don't have to be so over opinionated like a lot of Westerners are on a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's something that we need to work on. We don't need to have opinions about things we don't know anything about, because we're so obsessed with having opinions that we forget that maybe we shouldn't share our opinions if we don't know what we're talking about. We should keep to our strengths and not pretend that our weaknesses are strengths. So that's important.
See.
have a
There's
question.
also other aspects that I think we could just do better. I don't dislike Westerners. In fact, majority of my audience are Westerners. So
I do be like that.
Yeah.
yes.
I have a question, and I don't want to cause any ill will or like bad blood when I ask this question. This is just purely a question. How do you feel about the How do you feel about in like Japan all the downsides you could say that are there, such as the low fertility rates or the blatant political propaganda or the terrifying racism?
Well, the racism part is we already talked about that. That's very that is something that if you look into it, it's not even racism. It's just a different culture, and there's no disrespect in. No one is looking because they're very respectful people. They're not going out to disrespect people on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They treat everyone the same, and if they happen to say something that the person from a different culture wouldn't accept, that is not on them. That's not their fault. That's just someone else inserting their own culture and expecting another culture to be exactly the same.
Absolutely.
So it's just like culture clashing.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's a rather problem with. That's one of the problems with Westerners, is that they just assume that the rest of the world works the same as them, even though it does. Even though the world is very different outside of, for example, America. Even there's even big differences between a lot of European countries and America, for example. That a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that there are social differences that exist, and there's other things but that's just one part of Japan. When it comes to you mentioned the fertility rate in Japan. Yeah. Most of Japanese population are old people, and I believe it was it 60%? Was it 70% are over the age of 60? I believe.
I think it's 60. I've not looked at it in a while. Hold on.
Okay, it might be. Yes, I haven't looked it up in a while either. But I do believe that is the case, and that is, and the biggest reason why it is like that right now is because of, for example,
oh my God,
pandemic.
16% under the age of 20.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with the current pandemic and the effects of that afterwards, because people aren't as social as they used to be anymore. A lot of people aren't seeing new people in Japan, which is very understandable. They don't want to spread the disease, so that's just it's a negative that comes with a positive. People don't get sick as often, but on one hand, yes, it does affect that people don't get married or have children as much. Unfortunately, that is something that happens. That's with something bad comes something good also comes out of that, and well,
Yin yang type shit. Always is.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So definitely, one of the things that people bring up a lot are the work environments in Japan as a negative, which is something I don't understand, because that's also a culture difference. And if you talk to a lot of Japanese people, they want it that way. They want long work hours. They want the good pay that they get, and a lot of them, they stay behind on work. They want to work. A lot of game designers have this mentality where they want to stay behind and work on the stuff that they're passionate about. That's what when you see Western game designers or Western game companies, they always clock out on the hour that they end work. They just they don't care about the stuff they're working on. They only work because they have to work, and they don't have that passion that you see in Japan when it comes to work. because people only really care in the West really care about getting paid. That is the number.
I don't
one.
know if that's especially in the field that I work in. There's like I see people like come from different countries, and we have a lot of guys from India and Jamaica and China and like everywhere. They'll come over to our kitchens and they'll cook, and they'll be very passionate about what they make, and they make a lot less money than they could. Like, we get paid very well, but our hours are crazy long, like comically long, and we'll still go in there. And a lot of those guys are very passionate, you know? It just depends on the environment, like everything else. Like, certain places, yes, but there are definitely passionate people.
A lot of them are also not originally Westerners either.
Well, I'd say at least half of our kitchen is Westerners, and like it's like all cultures have people who are passionate, is what I was sort of trying to go with. Like, they come in and they're like very much like everything they make wants to be the best thing
it's not like everybody's mindset is always just focused on money, and that's like why they work. There's some people who like, you know, get enjoyment out of just doing hard work, and that's it. And there's some people who have passions, but you know, have to do work and then can work on their passions later on, or want to get into a field where they could let their passion shine.
Right.
Like, you know, game directors, people who are just, you know, movie directors and stuff like that. You know, writers, like they can make money out of their passion. You know. So
well, it's probably because they are around those people that take work so seriously. It rubs off on other people as well. Because a lot of Westerners are taught from the beginning to get a good education, to get a good job, and to make money for the family. That's a very normal mentality.
Yeah, I'd say so.
For Westerners, but
I mean, I would like to agree, but none of us here are like that. But yeah, everyone other than us, yeah.
It's probably because you have engaged with people that have a different mindset from that, and have that open mindedness and more passion in just not only work, but just the way of life in general. And it does rub off on you. And for me personally, I know that happens a lot in other countries. For me personally, I've learned the most from Japan. And all the positives that I have and all the mindset, I wouldn't be the same person I am today if it wasn't for Japan. I can say that.
Absolutely. I would agree with you. I think a lot of your brand and your sort of version of storytelling and the games you enjoy are very Japan inspired. I'd say it's definitely left an imprint on you.
Yes. So, yes, that's my opinion. A lot of the negatives that people say about Japan, it's something I mentioned before. It is Westerners that use their own their views on their mentality and adapt it to Japan, even though it's a completely different country with a completely different type of culture. People think differently, and that's just how culture is. They might find something. You could look at a different country and say, wow, the way they handle things is terrible, and meanwhile in there they are perfectly fine with it. And they don't have any issues with it. That happens a lot with different countries. Is that you can't really judge immediately. You have to look into it and see how are they feeling about it, and yes, do a little bit of research. It's not good to have this knee-jerk reaction to other cultures, because that's what racists do. They judge other cultures immediately based on their own.
Yeah.
Well, Seth, I think it's been
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
That's all I want to add.
Seth, it's been a really, really solid podcast so far, and I think it's been I think it's now at 2.5 hours. You're on about 2:20. So it's been a bit, and I know it's 6 hours later for you in Sweden. So we're gonna cut you loose. But before we do that, do you want to maybe turn on your camera so we can have you address the audience personally, and you can shout out your YouTube, your Twitter, whatever projects you want to work on. Then you can just talk to the audience at home.
I unfortunately don't have my webcam.
That's completely fine. Then you could just do it audio wise. I was just wondering if you wanted to.
Okay. Yes, I would have definitely done it, but I don't know where it is right now.
Gotcha.
And I only have my camcorder, so that won't work.
I see.
But yes, I'll do it here in audio. What was it you wanted me to say?
You could just whatever you want to say to anyone who's watching you, your swordlings, anyone. Just chat out your own sort of projects, whatever you're working on. Just a moment for you to speak to your fans and our small audience.
Okay. Well, arigato for watching. I'm Sephirothsword57, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, Sephirothsword57, or on my Twitter, which is Sephirothsword_. I make game reviews, or I make videos on Japanese culture or similar, and I talk about all kinds of different things related to Japanese culture. And I hope you enjoy my content.
100%. And can we get one absolutely Sugoi from you before we end this? It's my favorite.
Oh, yes. My time on this podcast have been absolutely Sugoi.
Oh, fantastic!
You could not have done that better.
You could not have done it better. He nailed it. Nice
Wait,
work,
what about the man in the walls? Or are you just not gonna talk about that?
No, we're not gonna.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
All right.
Man.
No
It's
time.
nothing. It's nothing.
Arigato for watching the Hetero Homies podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll enjoy the show. And make sure to check out me, Seph-sama, as well, on my channel on YouTube, Sephirothsword57. Arigato, and have a good night, evening, morning, or day. Moshi mosh!